Well, welcome back to Wook Plus. I am Weekend Wook, joined tonight by Great Went, Mr. Kev, and Skoy, Skizzle
Waddy number
McShizzle.
2, the second.
But the
He's
first
the
in our
Waddy
heart.
Emiritis.
Number two.
Yeah. Oh, I'm happy you could join us, Skoy. That was a fucking show and a half, wasn't it? Holy crap.
I only caught the second half, but I'll get into that later.
I think you're a lucky man because I actually got a couple of complaints on the first. Spoiler alert. I think the first set it was a mixed bag, but then it was all uphill from there.
If there's a bad take, Tim likes it.
You're gonna say I got bad
I'm really
takes.
curious to hear what y'all had to say about the first set because, like, I was literally for the first time in months. I'm on publicly. Yes, I'm on COVID right now. Everyone, I'm locked in my room and being cooped up for 5 days. I finally was like,
COVID.
I'm doing it. So I plugged in, tried to get everything to work, and Brad was like fucking everything so hard that I couldn't get in, and I got in right at drift when you're sleeping or whatever, and I missed all the Albuquerque and good ghosts.
Well, you can sit back then for the first set and let us
Run
do our
through it.
thing.
We'll run through it because it was fantastic. Might have been the best first set of the whole tour.
That is not 100% true. See, that's the difference between you and me. You look at the set list and I listen to the music. So
I listened to the music. I was there for every note of that set.
All right, well, let's talk about this Carini. So the way they
Let's
came
talk
out.
about the intro. What about the intro?
That's what I was gonna just go there. Damn, Kev, chill the fuck out. Man, coming out with the All right, let's start over.
I'm doing all right.
You bring me on, I swear it's all over. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the pint of tequila. All right, Kev.
Wine. This is
The
wine.
intro was sick.
Oh,
the
that,
intro
yeah.
to the Carini was sick. I love the spooky sound effect. My first thought was, shit, they just did Disease last show, right? Because it almost had that like spooky buildup, not knowing where they were going to go with it. But it was a very cool way. And then once they go into Carini, it was just, balls to the wall, hit you in the face. We're off to the races. And I thought it was a very solid way.
It didn't have anything to do with the Bulls. I thought that was like how the Bulls came in or something with the smoke and the lights and the.
It could be. I don't know. I'm not a big Bulls fan, but I thought it was to do with the whole Halloween, not Halloween, but like Friday the 13th, because they played a lot of spooky shit tonight. Either way, it was dope. I thought it sounded great. Yeah, very good version. Not super lengthy, but there was a lot there,
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Carini for an opener, I don't think.
Okay.
I saw one at Dick's open, and then tonight they opened with it. I've seen quite a few. I like Carini as the second or third in the second set where they've already just given up. And it's,
Well, that's a horrible take, because Carini is a wonderful way to start a show.
Right? It's a rocker. It is. It gets everybody kumbaya. I'll give it that.
Well, then they go into Rift, and it was up tempo, right? And I think there was a lot of potential there. But if I'm being completely honest, and I don't want to like pull the night down because overall the show is fantastic, there was a lot of flubbery in this Rift, right? I feel like Trey's fingers weren't fully awoken at this point in the night. He was missing some of his parts, not hitting it perfectly. Listen, I'm not going to critique the 61st best guitar player of all time or whatever Rolling Stone says.
57th. Yeah,
no, he's 61, I thought.
No, he was
whatever.
57 and Jerry was 23 or something.
But no, it was a little bit sloppy, It is what it is.
Happens, right? Not every riff these days is nice.
He was higher than John Mayer.
So maybe
the rankings were wrong. If he can't play Rift, maybe the rankings were wrong.
He wrote it though. Kev, come on, look at me. Let's stay locked in. We got this. We're gonna get through this.
The Rift was great. I felt like they were on it. I felt like Paige and Trey had the lyric down, and they were just feeling each other, bouncing the lines back and off. If he misses a couple notes or something, I don't notice it always.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. I am the Buddha. Set list wise, this first set it's aces. It's fucking great. It's perfect, right? I
I'm looking
love
at it
this
on
set
paper
list.
right now, even though I missed it.
I wish they executed everything 10 out of 10. I do, right? Obviously. And a lot of it they did. Some of it was really fantastic. That ghost was unbelievable, but not everything was there. And this rift was one of those things. The Haleys, I don't think there's much to say about it. It was fine. There was no jam, and
Why
it was
don't we
okay.
get what happened? We got the one at Hershey in 21 that had a little bit of meat on the bone, but ever since then, it's almost like an afterthought.
Yeah,
it's not in the bracket of jam songs.
But they have jammed it though. But you're right. I think that was the outlier. I think those times they jammed it out were the outliers.
Was there actually a decent seg into Ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's cool. I missed that.
Mike stopped singing for like 10 bars, 12 bars, and then they dropped into
it was like right away. Yeah.
And I was like, wow, a repeat. Because I didn't think it was going to happen. I really didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a great one to go with if you're going to have a repeat. I think that's a good
for
one.
18 minutes, you fucking just whip it out. I mean, Paige was on fire. I think Paige was the MVP of the Ghost there. He led it. He was leading the charge.
Yeah, I agree. I think he really nailed it. And I think this was, I don't know. I was going to say this was the highlight of the set for me, but I was really into the meat, which wasn't really a jam, but just it hit it. All right, we'll get there. I really liked it, but jam wise, this was the highlight of the set.
The main thing here.
Right. Yeah, no, the ghost had several little sections to it. They never brought it back and took it back out. And when Trey decided to take it back, he forced it. All of a sudden he was playing it. You heard Fishman have to throw the brakes on downshift, to hit the beat on it. And but beyond that, it was top version in 4.0.
I don't know if I go that far, but
I feel like it was up to Halloween in 21.
I would say it's not quite there, but to each their own.
That's dropping some shit right there, but okay.
Yeah. Kev's out of his fucking mind.
And then we got
I did hear about the Apollo Tequila, but yeah.
We got the winner of the Bob Dylan American Idol competition.
Oh, Jesus.
No more jokes tonight. Albuquerque, cool bust out. What is it? 458 show gap. Abby, I'm sure, was thrilled.
Sense in that moment?
No.
Okay.
It was weird.
But that's cool.
It was weird.
Right?
It was it was cute, kind of like it's a weird word to use, but it was kind of like, it felt like, okay, cute. They're doing a cool bust out.
Trey, I think this afternoon was like, I'm going to bust out Albuquerque tonight. And then that's when it happened. And everybody, everybody's like, oh, cool. He's busting out Albuquerque. But it was a weird place.
I haven't been listening much, but like they bust something like that out. And then you kind of have a feeling like you might be in for a like rager of a fucking show, right? Because the second set, which we'll get to in a minute.
Right. No, I have no issue with the Albuquerque. Good for him for busting it out. I would rather that than him throw Ether Edge or something in there.
I think set list wise, it was a cool choice. And I think for stat padding and all that, it's awesome. But strictly in the flow of the set and like contextually of like how the music sounded, it was a disjointed. Not that that's a terrible thing. I mean, sometimes it's cool to have like a break from reality. Katie, he's fucking driving me nuts tonight. I swear to God.
And he has to deal with me.
All right, so the Solid Again needs second set jam status because it's so open-ended and it's always the last couple times 4 or 5 minutes, and I really feel ripped off.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that because it serves its purpose of a big screaming, face melting, quick jolts of energy. Like I don't know that
fried eggs and deviled ham, huh?
I feel like I don't know if it needs to have a big jam out of it.
Was that a throwback to the Albuquerque? Like saw it again for the first time in 458 shows, or
no? I think the Saw It Again was more in line with the rest of the set of that spooky, more evil Friday the 13th feel.
With the 27,
I think Albuquerque was the one that was a little bit out of place.
The 27 Jason movies. They're like, I saw it again.
like the theme music at the end of the night. That was fucking hilarious.
Katie's encouraging this. She's like, we need those jokes. Those jokes are what makes this work.
How many Bud Lights is Katie on right now?
All right. So then foam again. All right. Let's be a little earnest here for a second.
How was it played? How was it played?
Sloppy.
They didn't get it in the beginning or end.
The first, I don't know, 3 minutes of it, and then they fucked up the end of it. And it is what it is. It didn't fall apart. I thought it was gonna fall apart, but it didn't.
Did PHiSH Foam on Twitter go apeshit again?
I don't know. I
wasn't on Twitter. I was on Blue Sky.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I was on Blue Sky. My question to you, Tim, is: we've talked about Mike. Mike's vocal part in Foam isn't exactly in his vocal range. Have you come to any ideas about that?
I thought Mike sounded good tonight. I thought he sounded good in Foam, and I thought he sounded great in Meat. And both of those songs are not really easy vocal parts. So my whole theory about the parts being written out of his range is shot to shit. I don't know why there's a distinction between songs that he sounds horrific on and songs that he sounds great on. And I can't be the only one, right? Like Yarmouth Road and 555 and like Crazy Sometimes and all these songs, he just sounds really, really bad. And then you hear him sing like Foam and Meat, and he sounds really good. And I don't understand how that happens.
Maybe because they're way older.
Yeah, maybe the newer stuff. There's some change in the writing. I'm the only one. Skunky says.
I mean,
all right,
from
that's
the
fine.
songs you just mentioned, it was like old stuff sounds good.
New stuff,
new stuff sounds not great, which is weird.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm entitled to that, right?
No,
you're being a 1.0 fanner over there.
It just means it's like muscle memory for him. Like he used to sing this way a long time ago.
He sang Foam every other night from 91 to 93.
Right, he has the parts in his ear. Actually, Kev, I think you may have just accidentally locked into the real reason. Is I feel like those other songs he doesn't sing enough and he doesn't have them in his head. So he's reaching for the parts, right? He's not a confident singer. So he doesn't sing out. He doesn't, project. He doesn't hit the notes. Whereas like Foam and Meat and stuff, it's so ingrained in him that he actually sings confidently. He projects, he hits it, he nails the note right in the center of the pitch. Whereas like 555 or Mull or whatever, he's still not super confident with it, and he scoops into the songs, and it just gives it this like really crappy tone to it.
I personally noticed that with 555, but some of the other songs I know what you're talking about. 555 seems like he mostly nails, but I think
that's right. Everybody's gonna hate on me. I don't give a shit.
Songs about trains are great. All right, Blaze On. It is one of my favorite of the 3.0 songs of all of them. It has the Grateful Dead vibe. It has the quirky lyric about the left turns and the, screwing up. I'm going to do it 2 more times. I have no issue with it. Solid little jam in it, micro jam in it, instead of a second set one that's full on 20 minutes. Good spot for it.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a nice little jam. Worked really well. I'm sorry, guys. Chat's all like defending Mike. I'm sorry. I love Mike. Mike's great. He's a phenomenal player and musician. I couldn't do anything he does. I'm sorry.
Tim's bad takes.
It's not a bad take. That is a reasonable take. He's not the best singer.
He was the one
who likes PHiSH for the singing anyway. All right, so this is Meat. Not like the best, most perfectly executed song or Meat ever, but just the energy and the funness of it was so awesome, right? I think the pauses and the passing of the solos, and I think PHiSH and the way he just kind of like throws it, into this really loose stop-start type thing. I just absolutely loved this part of the set. I think for whatever reason, justification, this was the highlight of the set for me. This is when I was like, okay, this is going to be a really good show.
Would you say that the band whipped the meat out?
I forgot.
And then we got Drift to close out the set. Do we need to even talk about it? I mean, it's
no,
fine.
because that's when I piped in and I was like bummed that I missed most of everything else that had happened. But like, how long was the meat? Oh wait, it's right here on the screen.
It was a good solid 7.
7 minutes. 7 solid minutes of meat. That's better than most women get.
Yes.
I think I was just saying the shit that everybody else was afraid to say out loud. You're all like, how dare you say PHiSH doesn't have great vocals? They sing like angels. They're always in
I thought
key.
people have been complaining about Trey for like a while now. So to hear some shit on Mike, yeah, throw him some shade. Good.
None of them have great voices. I mean,
Fuck
Trey's
no.
gotten, you know.
Trey's just overcompensating now, but it's okay.
Yeah. Fuego is the new name for the new name for it.
Kevin in Mescout and Mescout.
Yeah. All right. Quick set break. We'll be back 15 minutes after encore after each night. So we only got 2 more nights, but we'll be here. We've been doing the member hangs at set break. Those have been fun as shit. Still not too late to join and hang out with us. We do that every set break. Awesome. Sunday, Megan's going to be joining us. Really excited to talk to her. Megan from HF Pod. Next week on Sunday morning, that's a new stream for us. We're having Brian from Attendance Bias. Always love talking to him. And then Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, Liv returns. And we're going to do a full comprehensive tour breakdown. And I'm pretty sure Kevin and I are the only ones that watched every show. So it's pretty much going to be us breaking it down.
And we're also going to break down the new Rolling Stone 100 Greatest Guitarist Poop List.
I think it was like 250, and I don't know if we'll actually do that or not, but tune in to find out.
Watch me crush your favorite guitarist. I want to know
talk
where
about getting your
Malmsteen
bad
was.
takes in.
All
right, I'm
Malmsteen
really excited to talk about this set.
Oh boy!
Here's the overly bold, gravitas statement that I'm going to make that I might regret at some point, but I think this is the best set I've heard in a very long time.
This is why I'm even here right now, is because the one fucking time I tune back in, they like kind of crush it. But sorry,
not kind of, dude. This was full on crushing.
Yeah.
There was not. I don't think there was a weak moment in this set. This set had.
Oh my god! You did not just say that. Go ahead. Proceed.
I do have one moment, but I want.
All right, well, maybe there will. Let's go on one at a time. I thought the sand jam with the loop build, which is the only way to hit an appropriate sand, mixed with bleeps and bloops, a bleepy bloopy loopy sand is by far the best way to do a sand.
Yeah.
No
you gotta
notes.
Pay homage to the best ones in '99.
Great.
They totally did that.
Yeah, very 99. It was.
Yeah, fucking awesome.
It was a great
now,
sand.
You
full
said
stop.
to me,
Loved it.
You said to me, Tim, you think it was better than the Dix one.
I enjoyed it more. I don't know if it was technically better, but it was all filler or no, all thriller, no filler. What do they say? All killer, no
all
filler.
All killer, no filler.
Honestly, it was exactly the 16 minutes I wanted. I don't think it needed anymore. I don't know if I'm ever as content as I was with this. With actually, honestly, even the waves and Tweezer and Cross-eyed, everything hit exactly where it needed to hit. It wasn't too short. It wasn't too long. They were patient, but they were high energy at the same time. I mean, this was just like a clinic. Up Through Light, I think, was a clinic in jamming. I think the technicality was perfect.
Even further, like the light went into the mountains, I thought fucking perfectly. And
the mountains was the first time in forever that I actually needed a little bit of a breather there to find my face on the floor and be like, what the hell did we just see?
No, I'm looking at the set list even right now. This is good programming, like really good programming. I know. I'm sitting here talking positive.
There were 50 good minutes in that set.
I don't know about that. Well, let's go with the breakdowns still.
Yeah. Like, let's actually talk about the songs and not just be contrarians and throw out abstract. What did you think about the sand, Kev? Did you not like the sand?
I love the sand. I wanted that sand for the 9 minutes that was waves.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I was good with that. I felt like they stopped. They were into something with sand. They stopped. They did waves. Then they picked back up with the same spirit of sand with the song after.
I don't fully agree with that.
But... Yeah, I don't either. I thought waves.
That's why we're here.
I thought waves was a beautiful choice for the second jam.
It kind of like padded where sand was, and then like gave the like padding for the like tweezer instead of them just like dropping into the second set with the tweezer. I thought it like gave padding for the tweezer thing. And I'm kind of glad they didn't do all the like weird tweezer festy stuff and whatnot. They just played like a nice solid tweezer tonight, you know, like, oh God, I just dropped a term in my own brain.
You did. You guys are big on waves. See, I guess I'm not big on that song as a song.
No, it has nothing to do with the
I love
like
song.
chasing a song or anything. It was just an appropriate song to come out of Waves. It was the right balance. It's not like, oh, I love Waves, so that's why it was a good choice. It was played well, and it was the perfect.
I don't think though it's more of a slow down song when they should have had something.
Okay, they played a ripping 16-minute sand. Like this is like a thing with them.
Well, let's go.
And I honestly, I don't think that Waves was a big slowdown. I think PHiSH held a very steady groove through it, right? And they locked in and they maintained the groove all the way through. Like, sure, it wasn't what we got in Cross-eyed, but that's what worked about it. The Waves, Tweezer, Cross-eyed as a trilogy, right? If you think of Sand as the appetizer, then we got a trilogy. Waves got you started. Tweezer took you off the launch pad, and then Cross-eyed was just pure face melting insanity. Like, honestly, you couldn't barely breathe in the middle of that Cross-eyed. I think the three of these individually were fine, but together were phenomenal.
Yeah, I honestly really agree. Maybe I just this whole thing had flow to it tonight, which is why I kept like watching the screen, listening, and I'm just like, this actually sounds really good right now. Like, which is why again I'm here tonight. Can I ask you guys a quick question? When has Waves been showing up lately?
Not much.
Yeah, it hasn't been
once a tour. They did it in Mexico, I think, was the last time.
The second whole slot in the second.
The best waves was a sound check, apparently.
Well, yeah, that was a really phenomenal jam. I mean, that's not a knock against it. I think if anything, that just shows its potential. But to be fair, though, that was one of the best sound checks in the band's history. I mean, that was an unbelievable sound check. I don't know how that would be a knock on it.
So yeah, there isn't really much to say about where this has been showing up lately. So
yeah, they're always almost always in the second set. The last one was in Mexico and Alpine before that. But it's in like that 30 to 40 show range.
Yeah, once a year-ish. Maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
Strange to do in Chicago.
I think so. I fully agree with what Tim said. I think it really provided a really good bouncing bouncing pad for the tweezer thing that happened after that. So
I'm happy that everybody liked it. I like tweezer. I thought the tweezer.
Everyone likes tweezer.
That's what I paid my $5.99 for, or whatever, you know.
I jump
like Anchorman or whatever when he's like, I like lamp.
Yeah.
I like tweezer.
That was your fault.
I don't know if we have to say anything else about the tweezer. Kev liked it. We're good.
Well, I mean, it's
all right, no, can I start talking about I don't know if I can.
Yes, tell us about the tweezer.
Yeah, let's talk. All right. I think this tweezer, what I really liked about it was it was kind of plucky. It was a little twangy to start. So I got to check my notes because there's a lot of shit going on. But it was a very unique way to start a tweezer. And for a song that they jam so often, anytime you get something new or unique with it, it like really stands out and is I love. I really love the synths. I thought the whole night, the return of bleeps and bloops and synths and the darkness, we haven't had enough of that this year at all. It was almost completely missing from the summer tour. So to get that was great.
When you say that, is that some fall 21 bleeps and bloops shit you're talking
about?
Okay.
Yes, that was a return to 21.
That shit and I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
And that's what made 21 so great, I think, was all of that. And Fishman was just a fucking animal through this whole section. I mean, just crazy. Oh, and I don't even know if it was if you would call it type 1, but they returned back to the tweezer theme and start jamming it. So it turned back to almost a type 1 jam. But then they went into this whole Major Bliss, like triumphant, glorious jam over the Tweezer groove, which was just such a cool thing to hear. It was like mind blowing to me
and different,
very different.
And again, I'm like novice kid again these days, but like way different from what I've been hearing from Tweezers lately. Like that was like a double stacked Tweezer. Like
and faked you out. Exactly, RP.
Well, the last Tweezer that they did that I talked to you about, Tim, was the Guy Forget one, I think. And remember, they went back into the Tweezer theme, and I said that's when Guy Forget ended.
Right.
And that's when Tweezer started again. That's what I thought of when I heard him play it. I was like, yeah, this is when Tweezer's starting again.
Right, but they never left it.
That was Summer Tour, right?
Yeah.
Again, I'm a new.
Yeah. That was an MSG.
Was somewhere back there, and that was the previous biggest bust out before Albuquerque.
Right.
Cross-eyed, fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Cross-eyed was fucking awesome.
Cross-eyed that shit in my veins every night of the week.
You knew it was going to be spectacular when, before they even got into the jam, they hit the distorted bloops and bleeps as in the phrasing of the song and gave it that extra something. And I mean, honestly, when they got into this jam, there was not a missed note. There was not a slow moment. There was not a patient, like, what are we going to do? It was just all constantly forward, hitting it, moving you forward. Very honestly, it's a weird word to use, but a very satisfying jam to listen to. Yeah. Like sometimes with jam bands, I think if we're all being honest with each other, do have to kind of wait through, not boring, but like patient shit to get to the good stuff. It's like, I kind of sometimes think of it as like sifting the sand, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you're like, okay, we're in this groove, we're chilling, we're getting there. And then other times you get a night like this where it's just all delivered to you right away. And there's no sifting, there's no waiting, there's no like whatever confusion.
No patience,
just hitting you.
Call back, no filler. This was just
no filler.
It was all filler.
Well, we got to some filler. I see. I feel like outside the hood, with the talk in it, from Light, Mountains, and Golgi is another fourth quarter fumble for me.
What? Like I actually started like brightening up at that point. Honestly, Waves through Cross-eyed, I was like, holy shit, this is all sounding really fucking good. And then Light is something that I really love. I think the going into Light was not like as smooth as it could have been, basically, but Light sounded great. But really, when they dropped into Mountains, I don't know, I was just in that kind of mood for something like small, light, chill, and whatnot. And I think after what they played for the last like 40 minutes or whatever, I thought it was a great little
you wanted double meat when your ham sandwich at that.
Sure.
I'm going to agree with one tiny aspect of what Kev said, and I can't believe it. But before I do that, I'm going to disagree with him about Light and Mountains, because Light and Mountains was fucking perfect.
Fucking awesome.
And that light coming out of Cross-eyed was exactly where it needed to go. And Mountains was the most appropriate breather I could imagine. Like, I needed that there. The only thing I do agree with is Golgi. There was a mishap and a little bit of the return of the slop in the beginning where it felt, akin to like 3 or 4 years ago where the Golgis were getting a little bit off kilter and not locked in. But luckily, once they got into the big climax and I saw you and like the big climax after that, it was 100% locked in. It was just leading up to that Trey and PHiSH were, for whatever reason, were off from each other. I think they get in-ear issues. I think the balance in their monitors sometimes is a little bit off, right? Like, I don't think it's like a skill or musicianship. I think every once in a while, like, the monitors get off or something. I don't know what causes it, but
this is going to be a really weird take too. I was starting to hear beneath this. Goddamn, I'm so bad at this.
Beneath the Sea of Stars.
Yes, in the mountains, and I literally thought that they were like Fishman was on the drums basically. And I thought that they were going to like actually seg into that. In the headspace I was in, I was fully 100% wanting them to just go like full free jazz out of this Mountains thing and whatnot. And so when they dropped into Golgi, I actually kind of got like, oh fuck, like this kind of like shook me out of it a little bit. Like I was totally tranced out at that point from the Light Mountains thing.
Golgi was a good choice. I mean, I think it was a great choice for that spot.
Wish they would have like pushed into that, but I know they're like inside right now. That the beneath wouldn't have made sense and stuff. But it really sounded like it.
I feel like you use the term free jazz loosely.
I do.
Very loosely.
I do. That shit sounded good, man. I'm gonna go revisit that Mountains. Mountains for me is like one of the most special things that I've seen.
Wow. Okay. See, whenever it came out, I was like,
Thanks,
new Trey song.
Nuke, what's up?
You know. So do you think Talk was planned, or do you think the band stumbled into it?
When that happened, I was like busy doing some other shit on my computer at the same time, and just perked up and was like, if they are literally segging into that perfectly right now, because that was fucking butter. That was
amazing.
That's the shit that like I originally tuned in to listen to this band about and whatnot. Like, I could not believe that was happening. I'm a little bummed they didn't just go with it, and at the same time I kind of understand why it was kind of getting towards the end of the set.
Yeah, but they went with it enough because it could have just been a tease.
Perfect.
Like the fact that they went into it for as long as they did, I think was great.
He stepped up and sang it, so they had to have it on his pre-roll so he could watch it.
That was fucking butter. And again, I'm the noob kid, but toss me another seg that sounded that fucking good.
I don't think you're a noob kid. Like, I've hung out with you at many shows.
Well,
I feel like
I just haven't been listening lately. You know what I mean?
Okay, like that's all right. Like, people take breaks.
But like, has there been that
no
particularly buttery, perfect of a fucking tease seg in a while? Like,
not in the hood, not like that. I don't think so. I think
period.
I think that was perfect.
I know, like, you could. All band members were doing the exact same fucking thing at that exact moment. Like, it was like a hosey fucking seg, you know?
Yeah.
Hosey.
I mean, Trey had it in his fingers. He started on the riff for Talk, and the band just was like, here we go. There was no second guessing.
It seemed more squirts than hosey to me.
I yelled. I was yelling here in my room by myself, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, that is fucking fantastic.
Did you yell for the encore? Because I sure as hell did.
when that happened, here's my thing. I'm like, holy fuck, they did it again. And at the same time, I'm like, please don't take away how special that song is, because it seems like it's been popping up a little bit more.
I caught it at the Man. I caught it at the Man. Yeah, this year.
So it's like a multiple time. Well, they played in Seattle this year too.
Yeah,
and MSG.
First time Izabella has been played 3 times in a year.
It's popped back up on Trey's radar because I guess he did it in Seattle.
Well, no, I mean, Baker's is what brought it back. It hadn't been played since '98, and then in the Bakers they played it, and then it was back in 19, and then obviously they were gone for a couple of years with the pandemic, and then 22, 23, it was
97, and then but this is the most it's been played in a year. Pretty much
in a while. Back, do you think it's weird? Awesome. Do you think it's weird because his kid's named Izabella?
No.
It's about
he's named Izabella.
Yeah, but it's about.
I don't even understand your logic.
The lyric of the song is about leaving your lover to go to Vietnam.
It's the guitar, man. Think about the guitar. Don't think about Vietnam.
Right, but that's what the lyrics say. So what about, why doesn't he do Eliza then? Do you think she's like, what the fuck? Why don't you do my song?
Look, I would fucking flip. I would shit on the floor. I would be that guy shitting on the floor if they busted that one out. Like, seriously. Absolutely.
Tim, we made it. We made it through.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
Do you guys
thanks everybody
this long with these things?
No, not usually.
I don't know.
You guys. I fucking love you.
It's great seeing you, man.
I'll be back at some point. Long live Dewey Muppet.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.